it actually occurred to me after the previous recording session. There was one hunting ground that I completely overlooked. So, I'm just gonna use that as an excuse to get one of my more menial key quests out of the way. But to keep it from being completely pointless and annoying and all that stuff, we're gonna do it in Prowler mode. So we're gonna switch to Prowler mode. Right. Have Murasaki be my Prowler. So my other slot will be filled by... Ah, I forgot. I sent Rose on a trip. So it'll be Ruby. What did I have her do? I don't know. Not important. Well, I'm sure it was important, or I wouldn't have sent her. But, you know, whatever. So, let's see. Now in Prowler mode, also known as a Nyanter. Ha 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 ha. But, you want... Usually you don't want anything, and you taught me skills earlier. He's explaining styles again. Styles and skills. Especially SP skills, which... I still don't really know what they do. Because they were not a thing in, regular X, cross, generations, whatever. But, because I am a Prowler, it doesn't matter. Oh, and he's giving me a, armor sphere. He wants me to use it, but I'm gonna save it. I forgot I need to talk to this little guy over here if I want to get some armory for my, Prowler, or my Palicos. So let's see. Wait, what? What did you do? Oops. Gave me some stuff to make some stuff with. Ah, my default gear is pretty close. I think I will probably just stick with that. Doesn't really matter because we're not going on a really tough quest. Let's see. I can actually afford to make... It's like 2 sets of armor. 1 bone and 1 metal. From the scraps from my other, making actual hunter gear. So I'm gonna make that bone armor. But I'm also going to let Ruby, as the lowest level Palico in this group, wear some metal armor. It's interesting to note, no default armor, but you do get default weapons. You can't not have a weapon, so I guess they kinda had to. So there we go. Got some equipment. From doing some quests, specifically, I believe, the urgent to get to this rank. They, provided me with some new ingredients. So... Well, there's nothing I can combine that with. These two combined with each other adds an extra meal to my repertoire. it's actually not as significant as it seems because there's only a certain number of matches, and you can see by the red text in the box that there are no more valid matches between ingredients to make a new dish. So, kinda, maybe you should have just given me the dishes themselves instead of the ingredients, because it's kind of a pointless endeavor. Oh, okay. You still don't have any new stuff for me, so stopping me from doing stuff, I guess. Yeah, here's the new thing I can make. Doesn't actually give me stamina. It gives me a small boost to looks like water resistance. So that's pretty pointless. For the quest I'm going on, I mean. Got a ton of points, so guess I'll show the Prowler getting his eat on. Don't know that that's actually good for cats, so please do not feed your cats fondue. I don't care what else you put in it. So let's see. Among the 2-star quests, yeah, the White Academy quests also allow me to go to the desert. I think they just call it the Dunes. But, it probably has a clever localized name that I'm forgetting. So, there's 2 big monsters that we can hunt here, but before we do that, we should probably get used to the place. And before we go to fight any of these other requests from the other villages. As a Prowler, you can take on Prowler-specific quests. This one was unavailable when I was in Hunter mode, but nobody wants to see me go gather items until I reach certain thresholds of delivery points. Oh wait, no, in this case they want me to deliver 5 of something. But, you know, we totally graduated beyond that, and I won't make you watch that. But instead, let's go hunt something that we've never seen. It's still a small monster though, so it's not really a big deal. The thing about Prowlers though is they can't use items at all. That includes bug nets, pickaxes, paintballs. The only things that they can gain access to are items that have a passive effect, like the map you get in your supply box, or there are items called charms that just by having them they increase your attack or defense. So that's interesting. Let's go to the desert and hunt some small things, and, you know, as an excuse to go explore the place. But yeah, this is a hunting ground that we have not seen yet, so we get a new introductory cutscene. This is the desert that they used in Monster Hunter 4, but I believe it's actually a re-versioned version of the one that was in Monster Hunter 2. But I'm not 100% on that. So, like I said, the map still works. We can't actually use the rations or the potions or the whetstones. I'm gonna take the paintballs because I can keep those. Another side effect is you can't use cool drinks or hot drinks, but as a result, in Prowler mode, you don't have to use them. You won't be affected by the heat or the cold. So that's nice. I'm just taking the non-supply items because... Where is he? there's the veggie elder too. Wasn't looking for you, but I will take your stuff. As always. Some of this is probably supply stuff, so I am wasting his time. But here's the transporter. We will send back the paintball, send back the cool drink, send back the bottles, Psycho Serum. The first aid med plus, or the great first aid meds, I can't send back. I can't send back the ammo, because this is still a supply item. And of course the map is a supply item. So okay. Send back that stuff. Let's see. I literally can't keep this, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. So let's take a look. Actually, I don't think this is the one from Monster Hunter 2, but I don't know. Oh look, giant crabs, or giant from our stature. These are the guys that the quest wants us to take on. But they're weak. They're barely minion grade monsters, so even a prowler can take them out, no problem. The interesting part about this area, also the annoying part of this area, is that they've got these little caves that will not be too hot. And we could just sort of explore them and take some neat stuff. That's where bugs usually are. Got mushrooms. Got cacti. Actually, I don't know why I'm taking this. I'm getting fire herbs. Oh no, it's fire sap for Kinsect evolution. And of course there are little bugs. And I killed them. As you probably also noticed, I didn't need a bug net to gather bugs. I also need a pickaxe to gather mining spots, so it's kind of helpful. Unless you have some armor skills that are good for gathering stuff. The prowler is actually better at gathering than a hunter is. Just because that's less item slots and don't have to worry about them breaking. Oh, you can see a little friend in there called Cephalos. Might as well pick a fight with that guy too. It's probably the biggest of what you would term a minion monster. I think you could actually paint them in Monster Hunter 2. But they're not large monsters, so they're really not worth your time normally. They like to dig in the ground and lead you on a wild goose chase. But you can carve them twice. And annoyingly, a lot of gathering quests will ask for you to get their livers. So you gotta track them down. You gotta get them to come up. You gotta hope that they will give up the goods. Just not a fun time. Let's see here now. Quests. I need 2 more. Those little crab friends. And I can burrow underground and not worry about stuff. So that's neat. don't believe you could do that in the first version of this game, Monster Hunter Cross or Generations. But to be fair, I do not play as a calico that much. So let's see. We'll come back. Here's some large herbivores called Apsaros. Unlike Aptonoth, they are very aggro and do not like our intrusion, just in general. So they will become huge pains if you're trying to do a gathering quest. They're a fair bit tougher than almost anything that we've fought on the herbivore menu. Yeah, you see he's coming straight for me. He's gonna headbutt me. He's actually not as slow as he looks. He's gonna try to beat me with his tail club. I think they give a lot of the same materials as Rhinopolis for whatever reason. Mostly because it's just easier to have fewer specific unique items. But just meat and stuff like that. I think their livers are also another delivery item for account points. We can also get some nice minerals while we're here. See, there's mechalites and some earth crystal. No, that's not earth crystal. Oh, it's an account item. It's just aura stone pieces. Actually, there's another little cave. I think this is the one with the fishing hole. If you're ever here for fish specifically, you're gonna find the most valuable fish in here. Hopefully not pick a fight with these hermit crabs, because I don't want to finish the quest yet. Don't be rude. I'm getting honey. You don't even want the honey. You just want a hug. I don't want to give you a hug. I will hug you later. Hopefully my little friends do not kill you. They very easily could, because even the default weapon is not that bad. Maybe we'll go fishing later. But palicos also can't use fishing bait, so they'll just go fishing with the standard non-item bait that the hunters can use. This is a pretty easy map to not get lost in and lap and collect all its stuff. Unlike most desert areas, only areas 2 and 7 are hot. Even though they're kind of a brown color, area 5 is not a hot place, so you really only need to use the cool drinks if you're going to the big wide open areas. Oh look, it's another palette swap. It's the Genprey. They have paralytic agents in their fangs, so they will paralyze you. So they're a bit more dangerous than the other ones we fought. They also like to jump on you, like all the others. Ow. Thanks. I knew there's a reason why I brought a cat with a healing horn with me. As often I do. Because if you'll recall, I cannot use items, so relying on healing songs is a pretty big deal. You can see that this area is the feline hangout. The black-coated felines, the Melixes, will not stop robbing you just because you are also a palico. So if you need to find your stuff, it'll come back here. Same little yellow question mark. Got some more honey. Otherwise, not a whole lot of notes, as usual. Let's see. This hole over here is for large monsters to crawl through if they're not of the flying variety. I should really not be picking on these skin prey. That's apparently I can't help myself. So as a bonus, we get to meet the locals, take a piece home. The main means of attack of prowlers are basically two side-by-side attack trees of melee and ranged. So you can see that you can freely mix between them to create some different kinds of combos. Earth crystal, aqua glow jewel. It is a little confusing the way the map overlaps itself that way. See, there's Apsaros, another fishing hole. Is that a glutton tuna? I'd kind of like to find out, but this Apsaros is not going to leave me alone, so it has to die. Hopefully that other one will not go aggro from so far away. Yep, Apsaros. Those are their livers. They're an account item. Come on, big fish, you know you want it. Yeah, yep, this is a glutton tuna. I don't think I can eat them like this. Yeah, because I can't use items. But when a hunter eats it, you get a random item that it's swallowed. So let's see. I'll be back in a second. The little area off to the side here is pretty simple. Oh, there's a little Kelby. Picking on them, because I got the extra item space, why not? Oh, it's a white liver. Let's see, we get rid of the bait. Like I mentioned before, in Western releases, for some reason they frown on actually killing the Kelby, so they'll appear knocked out and get back up and run away, even if you just carve their liver out of them. Just not to be confused with a different set of stars circling their heads if you just knock them out with blunt damage, which I can't do like this. And mostly you'll take their antlers off. Kind of a weird double standard. I probably mentioned it when I went to the Jurassic Frontier the first time. You can see there's a little cozy oasis here. I'm sure nobody would like to hang out here on their off time, getting away from hunters with crazy killamajigs trying to kill them. Take their materials. Herbivore eggs. Owl, leave me alone. I don't want to hug you. I'll hug you later. There. Sometimes it's hard to... That's an insect husk, but... I'll keep it. Let's see. Don't need any of the, bone husks. Oh, that's a nice one. Let's see. What can I get rid of? Stop. Let's see. I'm gonna keep the... Oh, get rid of rocks. Stones. So here's a little 3-area loop we just went through. Well, real quick, check out the cave over here. Oh wait, there's stuff to harvest up here. How did I miss this? Really overkilling it on the mining, but that's okay. Can never have too much material wealth. The pink mining nodes in this set are the more common ones. So, whoops, I accidentally hit Ruby. That was interesting. More Genprey in here. You can see there's some shifting sands. It will push you along if you stick around on it. So you have Generation 3 Banabra. Little bugs floating around. Like you saw with the Altaroth, little harvester ants. Being a palico and having a smaller weapon doesn't make them less likely to explode. There they go. So sad. As you can see, there's a little one up. He bit me, so paralyzed. Oh, thanks, Kuro. not need that. Bone husk. Do not need a bone husk. Really don't need these unknown bones either, but you might find a good bone once in a while. And here's our little one-way transition shown on the map. Little arrows. And we fell. Oh, and there's some cats here. There's a regular lion. There's also a Nelix. Thought I already had. Oh, it's an ice crystal. Let's see. Let's see. Just that plant. Cactus flower. Oh, I'll get rid of the insect food because I'm not going to be getting a whole lot of insect feed on this whole expedition. But you can see that he's very eager to rob me, just like he would a hunter. So, gotta defend ourselves from that. And he's done. Did you just pick a fight with a regular lion? Yes, you did. He's gonna throw bomb barrels at us. Great job, guys. Let's see. Nope, I don't need a ration. Ah, you picked a fight with more than one. You guys are dumb. We're gonna have a talk about this when we get home. Picking fights with the locals for no reason. And I do not need first aid meds. You can see there's this big rock here. Oh, I don't have any more item space. It would give us a large egg-shaped chunk of rock that we would have to carry back to the item box. You just have to take my word for it now. But that is this area. We can go finish our crabby duties. I think that's the cheer horn. Why not? Oh, looks like Hermitar stuff. I'll throw away the map. Hopefully you committed it to memory. If not, we're not going to need to go anywhere, so that's fine. Gotta throw in our weapon. I don't know why I'm picking a fight with you. It's because you're there. Oh, there's some more mining I can do. Probably don't have time for it. Yeah, I didn't think so. I guess the upside from now on, my palicos don't have to go naked. bunch of stuff. You can see Ruby's a better gatherer. She's not really a hunter. So let's see. Yep. Got a lot of items to sell because they're supply items. Huh. But white liver is not worth as much as I remembered. I must be thinking of the Piscean liver, which we didn't get any of from the one Cephalos that we killed. The pieces of Aurostone are pretty valuable. Let's see what you guys got. More of the same. Oh, that's just me. Guess we didn't get anything from the other ones. You see everybody levels up. And of course, everybody loves Mufas. Getting fuzzballs and whatnot. Fun time. And if you want to switch back to hunter mode, just go back to your board for your Palico management. Switch mode back to hunter. Don't forget to set your Palicos back if you want to go prowling with your main Palico, which generally you probably would. Let's see. Hi, Muffy. That's so sweet. Muffy is way better than Poogies.